Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MCTV. My name is MC Stretch, and I'm going into 25 years in dance music this year, and to celebrate I've decided to make short, sweet interviews with some of the rising stars of the Dutch scene, and hopefully some of the world stars in the dance music industry. Stay with us because we're going to be introducing a series of interviews. Hope you enjoy it. Feel free to leave comments. Try and be nice. And yeah, 25 years in the industry. This is MCTV. Here we go. Hello, MCTV. And today we're off to Rotterdam to meet a young guy called Ludovika, who is making massive waves in America already. He's going to have a great year also in Holland this year. He's had a stunning time recently, and he's going to tell you the story about where he closed for Tiesto. Hopefully give you a little insight into some of the music he's making. And yeah, here we go, MCTV. Let's go and see Ludovika.
Put your hands up, it's alright. Sing it oh, until the sunrise. And if you can't sleep, do it all night. Sing it oh, and don't you ever fade away.
Yeah, come see. So, young Padawan.
Sure.
It's been a while. What's been happening since I last saw you Amsterdam dance event?
That wasn't the 88?
88 October 2012.
Well, a lot, man, always. It's been like 3 months, I think. Lots of new tracks going on, new collaborations, and yeah, like overall, just working on getting the release schedule right for coming year. So yeah, it's all only exciting stuff, man.
Tell us about your BPM experience in Mexico.
Oh wow. Where to start? BPM, yeah, it's something special. We were, I got a call from a promoter who said like, hey, we have a closing spot open at BPM, or actually my manager got that call when I was sitting next to him, and like, hey, we got a closing spot at BPM, closing for Nicky Romero and Tiesto. And
no pressure?
No pressure, no, not at all. Yeah, well, that's kind of where the experience started, because that was like 3 weeks before, and from that moment I've been living up to that day, because Tiesto has been one of the pioneers here in Holland for what my passion. He started kind of my passion, like his tracks were all over the radio here like 10 years ago, and even though I got into DJing and producing only 3 and 2 years ago, 10 years ago I had the passion for music, and I always had my iPod on I wanted to have only the newest music on my iPod. If a track was 2 weeks old, I threw it off and put some new music on. And that's something he started, because he made it possible that nowadays it's almost only house music, or at least electronic music on Dutch radio. Yeah, and also when we were there, like the night itself, apart from the little thing that happened between
well,
me,
you can tell us. You can tell us.
Well,
without mentioning any names.
Well, I was going to actually. Yeah, I was ready to go on after Thijs, and his tour manager.
Kel.
Yes. He said to me like, hey, Thijs is going to go off in a minute. Get ready. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went backstage. I grabbed my headphones and my USB, and I got back, and Kel sees my he sees my headphones, and he's like, oh, nice headphones you got there. Can I see them? And I was like, I had the white V-Modas, and I was already like What do you mean you want to see them? And he's like, yeah, just give it to me. And he grabbed them, he looked at them, and then next second he goes, boom! And he breaks it into 2 pieces around over his knee, and yeah, he thought, and next thing was, he didn't only break it, but then he threw it in the audience, like okay, this is done. And I was like, for a second, I just
didn't know what happened.
I just lost it.
Yeah.
I didn't know where to look. I didn't know what to say. I was like, And second after,
he's a big guy. You can't really.
No.
You wouldn't want to get into a fight with Kel, would you?
No, for sure not. Next, Thijs turns around and he says, you can take it. And I was like, yeah, but I don't have any headphones. And then Kelly, he put his arm around me. He's like, hey, listen, we did it to a lot of other guys, and they were doing this promo thing for the new Chesto AKGs. Yeah, he as I was a knight or something, he put the headphones on my head, and he's like, okay, you're a real DJ now. And yeah, next thing you know, I was taken over from him, and I opened with one of my new remixes, and Thijs was standing there for like 5 minutes, just like jumping with me and having a good time. So that was yeah, it was one of the most bizarre moments. But for sure one of my best moments.
But it was nice, wasn't? There was a magazine captured that moment as well.
Yes, Vibe magazine did an article about it.
H&M or Hugo Boss?
It's a tough question. If we would still play golf, it would for sure be Hugo Boss, but let's do it's a tough question. It's like the difference is so big. Let's say H&M. I rather have a lot than just a few clothes that are very pretty.
Apple or Blackberry?
Apple for sure.
Blonde or brunette?
I think it's blonde. I got to say blonde. My girlfriend's not here, but I have to say blonde.
Do you like cheese?
I sure do.
Do you still ride your bike?
Actually, it was stolen like 4 weeks ago, but normally I do, yeah. So I'm going to grab a new one.
Yeah.
This coming week.
And I have to ask you this, being a young Dutchman, do you have klompen?
No.
No.
I don't think a lot of
no clogs. No clogs in the house.
Young Dutch people have clumps anymore. I don't know.
Show us some of your music.
Yes, I will. Let's go. Cool. When I get a melody in my head, I whistle it into my iPhone when I'm not around, like a keyboard or something. Then I go home and I listen to the whistle, and of course, like 9 of 10 times, the whistles aren't that good, and you don't do anything about it. But sometimes, for example, when I did the Prima Donna remix, I had the vocal and I listened to the vocal maybe 20 times. I stepped away from my computer and I was walking outside, I think, and I had the melody. I was like, okay, this is what it should sound like underneath the vocal. So I whistled it in and then came home and it sounded great, but it's like the 1 out of 10 times that it works, you know?
Yeah. Play a second.
Which one? The Marina?
Yeah.
I'll skip a bit. See if I
still got the whistle. And this is officially released now.
Yep.
On Atlantic.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you buy your own music?
What do you mean?
When you make it, release it, do you buy it?
Yes. Yeah, I was by the first
Absolutely.
one. I wanna
How old are you now? 62?
23. 23.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. What car are you driving?
I'm driving
a Seat. I bought it from my poker money.
Okay. Do you still have any winnings stashed, or have you, kind of nearly dry that?
I put my last winnings in my iMac.
Yeah.
And my keyboard.
So how old's your iMac and keyboard now?
How old they are? 2 years. Yeah, and the speakers and the standard.
So they're nicely warmed up.
Yeah.
So there's a few hits waiting to be.
Yeah, well,
waiting to be discovered.
The pathetic side is that I'm working in Windows on a Mac. Okay. Because when I started...
You're confessing to the world now, right?
Yeah, I know, I know. But, well, somebody has to say it. But when I bought the Mac, I was also always... there were a lot of great stories about Logic, and all the big guys seem to use Logic. And I was always thinking like, okay, I'm going to start in Cubase because that's what I learned it in. But I always want to have the ability to switch to Logic if I want to. So I bought a Mac and I was planning on switching to Logic, but I never did, because when you learn it in a certain program in a certain environment, and I'm still learning small stuff every day, mostly on plugins, not really on Cubase, but I'm afraid of wasting time when I would switch to Logic now while I don't know what it's going to give me back.
It set you back.
Yep.
While you're so
well,
far
it obviously
progressed
takes more time
to
master Logic again. And even though the principles can be pretty much the same.
2013 is going to be a big year for them.
Let's hope so.
Lovely. Pleasure, sir. All the best. Do you fancy a drink?
Of course.
Yeah. Are you?
As long as it's rum.
Are you white wine or? Are you rum?
Let's do a rum.
Let's do a rum. Okay. Cool.